I am a money magnet. I can feel my abundance growing daily. My income is constantly increasing. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. Money constantly flows into my life. I naturally attract money. It's easy to make money. I welcome money into my life. I love and respect money. I am financially free. I am a money magnet. I can feel my abundance growing daily. My income is constantly increasing.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing today?
Money comes to me easily and effortlessly.
Got the meditation music going. That's how I start my morning. I hope that's how you starting your morning, if you don't already start your morning like that. Get in here. Make sure you hit the share and subscribe button. We are going hard for our dear sister Wendy Williams because we are learning from our dear sister Wendy Williams. So make sure you hit the share and subscribe button because I'm going to drop a couple nuggets in here today. Hey, on this almost last day of Black History Month.
I love and respect money. I am financially free. I am a money magnet. I can feel my abundance growing daily. My income is constantly increasing. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly.
Get it together. There we go. Good morning, y'all.
Money constantly
Good
flows.
morning. I want y'all to drop your B1 if you're here with me tonight. Good morning, y'all. We got Dennis Spraggins in the house. We're gonna start this off right. We got Dennis Spraggins in the house tonight. Drop your B1. Let me know that you're here with me because I, Marye Dean Esquire at thewallstreetlawyer.com, I am here with you. I am here with you, and I don't take it lightly that you are here with me because there's so many other places that you beautiful Black people can be. So drop your B1. Let me know that you're here tonight. Shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins' platform. We are going live on Fly Nubian Queen, where Black women have a voice. And I am one of those proud Black women who have a voice on Fly Nubian Queen. So shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins for allowing me to exercise my voice on his platform. We're coming to you live on blackwallstreet.com because Black wealth is critical to Black power. Yes, Black is beautiful. And even though Black History Month is almost over, we are celebrating year round, right? Because we are Black, not just for 28 or this year, 29 days out of the year. We are Black 365 days out of the year. So we celebrate Black every single morning. We got Rhonda Adams in the house. All right. Good morning, sis. B1 all the way. Double fisting over here. B1. B1. We are not black. Black is not just a fad for us. We are black to our core. We are black to our soul. That's why our heartbeat beats in harmony with the universal heartbeat, because we have that extra melanin. We tapped in. Life force. When the seed and the egg unite, it is coated in this melanin or something bursts, combustion, boom, and then we become here. And so melanin gives us supernatural powers. Okay, like Superman and X-Men and all of the other beings. And I really do make it my mission to help you tap into that power, which is why I wrote my book, blackwallstreet.com, How to Build a Thriving Black Business Using the Laws of the Universe, the Law of Attraction, The Secret. How many of you guys have seen The Secret? Drop The Secret, hashtag The Secret in the chat. Let me know that you are an enlightened being using all of who you are to be all of who you have to be. So good morning to you, Sister Rhonda Adams. Thank you guys for joining me. So we're going to talk today about Wendy Williams, because it's got social media buzzing. It is got the internet hot. These internet streets is hot. Okay. Wendy Williams, everybody is concerned about Wendy Williams. We're concerned about her care. I've even watched a new movie that, everybody's talking about in the comments. I've watched a new movie called I Care a Lot. Made me watch that movie on Netflix, which is really a movie of what it looks like to us on the outside looking in of what Wendy Williams is actually going through, what she's going through right now. Elderly abuse, guardianship abuse, that's not just in the caretakers, but a conspiracy that looked like it involves so many different players. In the movie I Care a Lot, which I watched Sunday night, because everybody in the comments about Wendy Williams kept saying, oh, this looks like that movie I Care a Lot. This looks like that movie I Care a Lot. So I had to go watch this movie on Netflix, and it was really sinister. It was good, but it was very sinister and very, very concerning. I don't move through the world like that. So it's always interesting when I see how some people, maybe dark energy moves through the world, but we are light workers. We move through the world maximizing our God-given light from within, because we don't have to resort to those kind of things. Not when you blessed, but our dear sister Wendy, I digress. It looks like she is being taken advantage of. Let's see. Let me share my screen here. Make sure you hit the share and subscribe button, because, one of the questions that I keep hearing is there something that Wendy Williams could have done to make sure that she was not, that she didn't end up in this kind of scenario? Let me see. Wendy Williams accused. Let me pull that. Let's see. Can you see here? Under fire, Wendy Williams' guardian accused of robbing the client in $30 million lawsuit while controlling Trouble Host finances. So I struggle with wanting to bring you the information, and then me wanting to pull the case because I'm an attorney and I have that access and I know that I can, and wanting to read the whole case itself. And then I look up and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be going live and I'm supposed to be on the camera already. But so what are you doing? So I'm just gonna go through this article that I found. Oh, a bird just flew by. I get so distracted. But I love seeing God's beauty everywhere. I love seeing nature, and I just, when I see God in all, we are all God manifested in human form. We are the animal, the birds, all of this. It's a little piece of God oozing through all of life, all of the world around you. And so every time, so yeah, I got a little distracted. I just it was a bird. Okay. But I digress. Wendy Williams' guardian has been accused of a scheme to rob a client in a $30 million lawsuit while controlling the troubled host's finances. And I've seen this article reported on a couple of different sites. Okay. And the internet, we like to tell y'all what to do because the internet be interneting. Y'all are the greatest. Here I am live on the internet, so I can't say we are the greatest team of journalists and private eye detectives out there. And so we're all working together because, she has so many different fans, which you understand why in certain toxic relationships, people want to get you isolated and away from people that love you. But Wendy is not just loved by her son and her family and her friends. Wendy has created a brand and a business that has touched people all across the country, maybe even the world, right? And so everybody is concerned about this sister, which that's something to learn about too, because it's been a lot of content going on, a lot of content out there of people being upset. Somebody asked the question. Let's see. Coco D, why haven't Wendy's son sued for guardianship of his mom? They act like she doesn't have a sibling. These people are robbing Wendy blind. Those people don't care about her well-being. So that's, this is why we say, well, could Wendy have done something? What could she have done? Could she have taken certain precautions to avoid being placed under guardianship? Well, technically, Wendy Williams was taking precautions when she granted her son power of attorney. Sorry, somebody's calling me. Okay. She was taking precautions when she granted her son power of attorney. However, there are additional safeguards that can be put in place to potentially avoid the need for a guardianship. So she put a power of attorney in place. But the problem with that, I guess the court came in and found pause. When I say what we think the court have done, we are only speculating because the court has sealed these records, which for me raises so many red flags. That's very questionable. And we have to ask, why are these records sealed? She's not a minor. I do remember watching an old documentary where she had her son and then she blotted out his face because he was a minor at the time, but he's a grown man now. So you say he's not, his face is fully shown. And so we wonder, sometimes people ask for the records to be sealed to protect the affairs of someone under the age of 18, a minor, to protect them so they're not exposed, which could cause a threat to a minor. So we understand why certain records are sealed for that purpose. But why, Wendy Williams is an adult, and we all think that it's in her benefit for these records to not be sealed. If it's any other personal information that the records contain, that information can be redacted, right? We still have a duty to redact. So those, personal home addresses, social security numbers, bank account numbers, phone numbers, redact all of that personal information. But why are these records sealed? And so for you out there in the internet world, you internet journalists, that is the question. Why are these records being sealed? So when we say what we think the court did, it's only is our rationale. It is my opinion, a professional opinion, an opinion coming from an attorney licensed to practice law for 17 years now. Hey. But, because these records are sealed, we can't say for sure what is actually happening in this particular case. From a judicial perspective. All right. But her son, she did have a power of attorney. Her son did have a power of attorney, and he spent, I think what flagged Wells Fargo was that there was $120,000 spent on his birthday party. That was another, I think, $80,000 spent on Uber Eats, which, maybe that's unusual for her account. Because, most people say, well, she's a multi-millionaire. Of course, she's spending this type of money for her son. But something was unusual, something that occurred. We don't know for sure, but there was reason Wells Fargo has justified notifying the court that a financial guardian to take care of her financial affairs needed to be put in place. Mostly because maybe she's got all this money in the bank, but what you're used to seeing is money coming in and money going out. When you don't see money coming in and you see money going out in ways that it has never gone out before, that is what Wells Fargo has justified. We don't know particularly what that is because, again, those court records are sealed. But there are additional safeguards that Wendy Williams could have put in place to potentially avert this guardianship being placed. For example, if an allegedly incompetent person has placed their assets in a trust and designated a successor trustee to manage the trust assets in the event of their incapacity, a guardianship could have potentially been avoided. Something else that Williams could have done is designate someone via her estate planning documents to act as her guardian in the event of her incapacitation. So she could have named a financial guardian. And here's the key to naming guardians, especially a financial guardian, if you have an estate of that magnitude. You want to name someone that the court deems competent. You don't want that person to run into issues, because even if you name a guardian, a court could come in and say that attorney, in fact, or that successor trustee is unfit to fulfill their roles, and still possibly appoint someone else. So what you want to always have, even when you put these estate planning documents, even when you, which I say, especially in this day and age with ChatGPT and AI and template agreements out there, you think that you can go out and get these contracts and these agreements and put that in place, and that is enough. When what you really need to be focused on is creating a relationship with people, creating a relationship with financial advisors, creating a relationship, a professional relationship with an attorney, someone who cares about you, who is going to advocate for you, not just someone who's going to sell you out for a check, who's going to be someone's questionable, who doesn't care. You want someone who really is going to care about you and advocate for you, advocate for your son, who has put these documents in place, who's going to come back and defend their work and defend you, which means defending you. That's what you want. I'm Marye Dean Esquire here at thewallstreetlawyer.com, coming to you live on blackwallstreet.com, because Black Wall Street is Black wealth is critical to Black power. Coming to you live on Fly Nubian Queen, where Black women have a voice. Black women like me have a voice. Coming to you live, Marye Dean Esquire at thewallstreetlawyer.com, coming to you live on blackwallstreet.com. Golly, take a breath. So who's with me? We got Rhonda Adams with the statement: many children fall through the gaps due to sealed records here in the States, fostering a disconnect for children in probate and foster care, increasing many to not know their truth and legacy wealth. That's an interesting perspective. And so, there's, and I guess, there's always room for foul play in all things. And so you want to be diligent. We normally seal the children's records to preserve and protect that child's innocence, but it is maybe the consensus is shifting to where we are now feeling like, maybe redacting children's records and personal information, but exposing these court cases, make sure that the public is in that child's business and can be in that child's business, because there is a safety in numbers. There's safety in community. We got a Facebook user that says, I love this. Well, it loves you back, darling. It definitely loves you back. Here's an interesting question. Somebody says, what part of God was moving through Wendy? We can always be quick to judge. Someone and think that there's not, but I can tell you the God that moved through Wendy, the God that created, that supported her, God is life force. And that life force moves through all of us, and it is inspiring life force. And so the God force in Wendy that inspired her to create, to go from radio, that inspired her to live, that inspired her to create her radio show that went on to become a show on in your living rooms every day. That bore her name, the Wendy Williams Show, the life force that created, that was able to live through her and come through her in the form of her offspring that she was blessed to have. I can see many instances where God was moving through her. I can see where maybe some far from God was moving to her through her as well. We are human beings, and to be human is to have all of it within you, light and dark. But and sometimes in many, as we see in the documentaries, it looked like sometimes the darkness was consuming our dear sister, which led to, or fed into, I should say, her addiction and her addiction behavior, things she tried to feed with her addiction. But what can we learn from our dear sister? Uh, we can be tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. We've learned that you don't want to be a being who has always got to be fueled by drug and alcohol. There's a price to pay for that. We can learn that we want to put as many safeguard layers in place. One of them, she probably had her corporate ducks in a row, her business airtight, because she's been able to amass a great deal of money with her business savvy, as well as, I'm sure, employ other people who were on her payroll, as I'm assuming. But what she did not do was transfer those assets into a trust and appoint herself as a trustee, as an irrevocable living trust. And then when she becomes incapacitated, appoint someone to serve as successor trustee should the courts deem her unable to take care of herself. That way she would have been more in control of her assets and what's going on, and seeing that those assets are preserved for her son, without having court intervention. Now her whole livelihood is in the hands of the court. And if it wasn't for that documentary, which shows her in a horrible, horrible light, we know, you and I both know, that the Wendy Williams today would have never wanted to be shown in that particular light. She's a very proud woman. I didn't watch the last two parts, but I did see it in the first two parts where she did take a wig off, and you can see her little bald spots. She showed her feet, her lymphedema feet. You see her looping the block because she's swore that she is at a restaurant, she's looking for a particular bodega, particular and to get her blue e-cigs or something to that effect. And she's very not lucid, not knowing where she is. Made them drive the block I don't know how many times, to the point where production steps in and just says, hey, we're going to cut filming. So I can't, what you want to do, what we learned from my dear sister Wendy, is that you want to take care of these fairs while you still can. You want to do the estate planning. That's a part of making sure your business is supported, making sure that your legal systems, your insurance systems, your financial systems, and your tax systems are all set up and functioning in harmony, something that we call on Black Wall Street, your Black Wall Street lift systems needed to lift your Black business to the next level. I'm Marye Dean, Esquire, at thewallstreetlawyer.com, and I love working with Black women in media to take those brands and businesses to bigger and better platforms like Hulu, Netflix, BET. Why? Because Black wealth is critical to Black power. So make sure you hit the share and subscribe button. And until we meet again, bye-bye.